What is up, geeks and gamers? Am I allowed to say that? I don't think I'm allowed to say that. Hey, everybody, it's your host, Vito Giswaldi. We're here in the zone, the Vito zone. The only zone where anyone would want to be. I do need to change that intro message that says it's going to start in 5 minutes, because that's too long to wait. But thanks for swinging by. Tell me you don't love the opening of the show. How cool was that? Let's do that again. Well, I'm gonna do that all night. I'm just gonna keep playing that all night. Anyway, how's everybody doing? You may have seen the news. As of today, Trump is banned from Facebook. Trump is banned from Twitter. Trump is banned from pretty much all of the things. Not just Trump. It's not just Trump. Many other prominent conservative accounts are being banned, are being wiped from the face of the earth. Does this affect me? Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm fine. I'm not a conservative. I get spared. The tech companies love filthy liberals like me. Right now my lamp breaks. Okay, a little more light in here. Point is this a step too far? Is this a step too far to ban the president of the United States? He's not gone yet, folks. He's not gone yet. We're telling the president he's not allowed to talk to us on the internet because he says things we don't like. How do we feel about that? Some people very upset. Some people are like, well, that's what you get. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to solve it the democracy way. We're going to take your calls here on the Vito Show. Let's drop Alistor in here. I got to get in there. Am I in there? Alistor, hello.
Hey Vito, how are you doing? How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Well, I'm worried, Alistor. I'm worried some of my friends might have their Twitter accounts banned. Well, I hope not. I don't think any of my friends are that crazy, but some people are getting banned today. I'm watching them drop off like flies.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of people that I appreciate and some friends also have been banned.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's incredible, to be honest. Not amazing. Amazing is not the right word. It's horrifying. And I just want to say, man, Vito, you had one job, man.
I had one job? What was my job?
Yeah, you had one job. You had to give a positive review to The Last Jedi, and you didn't
I didn't do it, and that's set the entire world upside down. If I had liked The Last Jedi, everything would have been fine.
Exactly, man.
As somebody else brings up, Google, and I believe, yeah, Google's removed it. Apple has not done it yet. Removed the free speech Twitter alternative Parler from the App Store.
I think that's scary, man. I mean,
yeah. Now, are you a liberal or a conservative?
I am a conservative, yeah. Sadly, I am. Sadly, I am.
But you're in Brazil? Is that where you are? Or,
No. Peru.
Okay. But still, you're a conservative in Peru, and you see what's happening here, and America's politics affect the rest of the world, and it worries you.
It worries me because, I mean, I grew up like you. I mean, in the golden age of the internet when everything was free.
You didn't grow up like me. Did your father put you in a potato sack? And that's not true. My father was a saint. I'm just kidding. No, yeah, the golden age of the internet when you could do or say whatever you want, basically, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. And in some way, and I actually want to remember, man. I don't know when we started to get this carry away by politics and completely destroying everything. This beautiful place when everybody can do their crazy theories and people will laugh, some people will believe it, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. But now suddenly it's dangerous, it's creepy, and it's having serious consequences for everybody.
I just broke out of war in a funny way. What was I gonna say? Yeah, well, the thing about this is that there's two ways of looking at this. Well, I'm gonna say there's more than two ways of looking at it. Obviously, some people are gonna say that these conservative voices on these platforms were going too far by posting information that is either fabricated or easily debunked, or just not based on any known evidence. and that it ended up whipping people into a frenzy and getting them so mad that they wanted to go, knock down the Capitol building. And again, that's a whole other thing, is what happened in the Capitol even that big a deal, or was it just a bunch of people who went inside, took some selfies, and left? There's so many different things to talk about here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, recalling the Capitol thing, like I actually started reading a lot about it, and somebody posted something interesting that apparently the Black Panthers actually occupied the Capitol with arms, and they got like reading and stuff. Like nobody care.
Yeah,
but I think that they're all. I'm sorry, man, but I really, really despite the Democrats. I also despite the GOP, but the Democrats have no shame, man. They have no shame. They are doing all this just to set an example. And I think it's going to backfire. And sadly, the people that are going to suffer are going to be liberals like you, not people like them. Do you understand me, right?
So you're saying they're being disingenuous right now, and do you think the Democrats are kind of lying about what's happening and using it as an excuse to set up new laws and change the social media and that sort of thing?
Exactly, and it comes hand to hand that you say you were celebrating this a couple of days that they were going to have the three powers: the House, the White House. But I don't remember the third one.
The president. They have the presidency, and then they have both the chambers of Congress, the House and the Senate. So
exactly. So they are starting to use the power, even though they are not having fully, because Trump is still the president. But they are overwhelming this just to try to scare, and I don't really understand why. The only thing they need to do is to be like, you know what? Okay, we hear you, boys. Like you're angry, but we're not going to fuck you over. You can go home, whatever. And I guarantee you that would have been a little bit more peaceful than this. Now people are riled up. People feel that they're being suppressed. People feel scared. Maybe not. Well, you're scared. But some of your lefties are celebrating.
Well, let me interject here. I mean, I do have to say, clearly some people are going too far. I mean, there was somebody who planted bombs at the Capitol. I think that's the scariest thing. 2 bombs were planted by an individual. Now, you can say, of course, there's always going to be nut jobs who want to do things like that. But I don't think it's unreasonable to say it might be a guy who was pushed over the edge again by some of this social media rhetoric. I see people saying things that are just blatantly not correct. I mean, I see QAnon telling me JFK Jr. is going to come back from the dead, and him and Donald Trump are going to hang Hillary Clinton. I mean, there's some people are taking it too far. Now, obviously, Trump never said, I'm going to... Well, Trump said he was going to arrest Hillary Clinton and lock her up. That was a lie. When they ask him about QAnon, he goes, I just hear they're, good people who love their country. Obviously, that's not a direct quote, but I would have hoped a president could say, I don't agree with the Satanists a little more strongly. So there are people on social media who are going too far. You know what I'm saying?
This is the thing, Vito. I mean, he wasn't like disavowing QAnon, probably mostly because he was fed up with the disavowing. Man, I don't remember what year it was, but I think it was 2016. Yeah, 2016. Like he was disavowing white supremacy like every 30 minutes. Do you understand?
I know that's annoying, sure, but if you have a bunch of people who are following you and wearing your hat, and they keep saying we want to, kill all these people, and they won't stop, I feel like isn't it in your responsibility to tell those people stop doing this stuff in my name, take my hat off? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but this is the thing, because it's nuanced.
You clearly tell those people, hey, if you're going to be talking about murdering Obama, murdering Hillary Clinton, can you please take my hat off, because I don't agree with that in the slightest. He never really said anything to that effect. You can say I disavow, but clearly nobody was hearing him when he said it, or they heard it in a way where they're like, nah, he's still on our side. He's still going to help us murder Hillary Clinton. It was a little much. It was a little too much. I think anybody would agree. It's unreasonable to talk about, wanting to kill the former First Lady, Secretary of State. Someone's saying he did say it repeatedly. I have never seen a clear... if you want to find me the clearest, most obvious example of him saying we're not going to kill Hillary Clinton...
come on, man. I mean, no.
Are people saying the Discord link is not working? I might have to get a new one. Hold on, I'll post a new one in the thing. Yeah, go ahead. Say what you were gonna say.
I think you're a little bit exaggerating. I mean, and you're doing guilt by association. I mean, come on. If someone is doing
Guilt
something
by association. If
outrageous,
they're wearing your hat, it's your hat. It's not.
so
I'm not
what?
saying your friends. That they're your fans. You can't tell them. If my fans were out there wearing Vito Giswaldi T-shirts saying we want to murder people, every single day I would be on here going, and to everybody wearing my T-shirt who's out there wanting to kill people, I hate you and I don't want you to be my fan. Don't kill anybody. What are you talking about? You know, or saying we're gonna, under the banner of Vito Giswaldi, we want to start a white ethno state. I'd say, again, for those of you who still have not heard me for some, I'd be saying it every day. I don't want anything to do with those people. And you can say, oh, it's annoying for him that he had to say that or whatever. But I don't know. Just personally, me, I would be very upset about that sort of thing. And to him, he kind of treated it like an annoyance, like it wasn't any big deal. Like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
I understand that, but because I think it's a little bit of lack of perspective from his perspective. I mean, he's the president of the United States. He's Donald Trump. He reaches 88 million people, right?
Sure, he's obviously reaching more people. And yeah, there's always splinter groups. I'm not going to say all of his followers want to kill people, because clearly that's not true. Yeah.
I mean, I put that for example because I'm also a YouTuber, right? And when you have like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 subscribers, you can respond to every comment you get, right?
Yeah.
You can totally do it. If someone is telling, yeah, man, I totally agree with you. We should do this, and you can respond to the no, I don't agree with that or whatever. But then reaches a point where you get to 1 million comments and you suddenly just don't want to care, honestly, right? And honestly, like, I understand your perspective, man, and I understand because we see it on Twitter. We see these Q people. I mean, I might be a conservative, man, but
you're not a QAnon guy. No.
I mean, I thought it was a joke, man. I mean, when I saw a guy like posting a Trump meme and saying, "Oh, $500 to California going red," I laughed my ass off. I didn't share it because I thought that was a joke. But maybe it wasn't a joke. Maybe he really believed that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, the media, look, I'm not defending the media. The media does a lot of stuff I don't like. I'm just going to say, as a layperson, I see some of Trump's followers. A lot of them were, frankly, beyond the pale of what I think is acceptable discourse. And the question is, who's putting these ideas in their head? Now, maybe it's not Trump himself, but there are certain conservatives on these platforms which are saying things that are just not backed up by evidence, sadly. And and it's hard to say Twitter has to let you lie on their platform. If Twitter doesn't want you on there making stuff up, I mean, again, I mean, there's people on there who are probably telling the truth, and I'm sure everybody's mad at me as I'm saying this, so I don't know exactly what's going on.
This thing, the problem is perspective. I mean, obviously, the people that are on Twitter, and I understand what you're talking about, right? Yeah. But at the same time, me as a conservative, when I see those guys, I just dismiss them. I don't give a fuck, right? But you and probably your friends, they're like, oh my God, look at these clowns. So you start clowning on them and giving them more attention than they deserve.
Yeah.
And the media is doing that. Because I think one of the things that really gave me perspective, well, I don't know if you know Emplemon, the YouTuber.
Emplepempum? No.
Emplemon, like Emperor Lemon.
Okay, no, I don't know of him now.
Well, he made a video about how Trump used memes to win the White House, right?
Yeah.
And he says something really on point. I'm just going to mention this argument, like thinking that the reason that Trump won was because of 4chan poll is kind of naive. I mean, the reach of poll is like 100 million people times 10. That doesn't make the 75 million votes he got.
No, but it does trickle down to. I mean, I'm seeing you see all the people who are saying all these people who went to the Capitol are actually Antifa in disguise. Which is so blatantly not true. Not even slightly. You know?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people saying that. I look at the numbers. There's tens of thousands of people retweeting that nonsense.
Yeah, because a lot of people want to wash their hands.
Yeah, but if you're, let's say you're somebody who has tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers, and you're out there telling people, by the way, what do you call it? Antifa in disguise are the ones who have taken over the White House. Like, should Twitter allow you to say that? It's wrong. I mean, it's verifiably wrong. I have no idea how to block in this God of War game.
I mean,
is there a block button? Yeah, go ahead.
This is the thing. this is the thing that it's something else because we don't know the background of every single person. And actually, you saw the clip that the police opened the door to the Capitol House.
Sure. So let's talk about that. Why are we talking about the guy with Viking horns as a secret Antifa?
Because the
I
guy
think you
was
should
so
get your account.
flamboyant.
I think if you're going to
Yeah,
say that, I think it's reasonable to say, listen, you are I don't like misinformation. I don't like things that can be verified easily with a simple check. I mean, people were sharing pictures of this Matthew Heimbach guy, and they're saying he was one of the guys at the Capitol. You're like, first of all, that guy's a major neo-Nazi leader. He's not an Antifa guy. Second of all, whatever. I just think that lying to people is bad. I'm getting very distracted by this tough God of War battle. Look, man, I hear where you're coming from. I get what you're saying. We got to be careful with, who we ban and why and for what reasons. And I'm not even saying that the people who got banned today stepped over the line. I'm just saying, I can't immediately discount some of these people might have said some stuff where maybe they were not using the platform responsibly. But I am also worried. I keep going back and forth. I'm worried. I don't want censorship. I know that. But I also don't want misinformation, and I have to see where a fair line is. And it's hard for anybody to find that fair line, I think. You get what I'm saying?
This is the thing. I mean, if you prohibit maybe make Twitter just about media and stuff, but don't bring politics to it. Probably that's a solution.
What, like
you
it's a rule? You can't talk about politics on Twitter? I don't know. I want to figure out a way that people have to. I think if you post a tweet and it can be debunked, you have to disavow it. You have to say, here's the actual evidence, and I'm sorry for misleading you. We'll see what happens. All right, Alistair, I'm going to take some more calls. Thank you, sir. This is Ethan Bond from Prescott, Arizona. Ethan, I don't know how to play God of War. I'm not good at it. Ethan Bond from Prescott, Arizona. You not there? Well, he failed. He failed. Let's talk to Jeb. Jeb? Hey, buddy. Hello.
Howdy.
Hey, howdy. How's it going?
Doing pretty good yourself?
I figured out
One sec, sorry.
It's okay. I figured out the block button in God of War, which should help me slightly. So
hey, congrats.
Now I know how to dodge, and now I know how to block. I probably should not have put this on hard, honestly, if I'm going to be streaming while playing the game.
Nah, you want it on hard. You want to look cool.
Yeah, but I'm not going to look cool. It's just going to be watching me fail spectacularly trying to fight these morons.
But failing spectacularly is better than, just
than being a bitch.
Through.
Being a bitch, yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. All right. Well, what do you think about what's happening? Are you worried about these people who are being banned from these platforms, including the president himself, Mr. Donald J. Trump? Does that worry you, or do you think it's long overdue?
Everyone knew Trump was going to be banned as soon as he was out. It's just surprising that he's still in and they banned him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. Banning every conservative is going to go bad, but...
Well, they're not banning every conservative. I mean, they're keeping
just wait.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see where it goes for sure. I mean,
what is it, the Overton window?
Yeah, I don't have the list of everyone who's been banned. I know it's Trump. I know they got that Ben Garrison guy who, what do you call it? He draws those cartoons.
Yeah.
How do I change the goddamn difficulty level? I'm gonna get my ass kicked. There's still more of these frickin' things? Oh my god. This game is hard. Look, I don't want every conservative to get banned from Twitter, and I don't think anybody's saying that. I'm sure some extreme BLM
some are, but...
that, yeah. Are there potions in this game? This is impossible.
Yeah, I got no idea on that one.
But
I don't know.
Yeah, I do think that it is.
I'll do it right now. Again, I saw your post about your dad earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, man.
It's all right. He's been dead for a year. It's not going to change. It's actually, I feel bad that like I'm not more whatever about it. All right, hold on. I'm going to find gameplay easy because I'm a moron. Difficulty. Sure, give me a balanced experience. I had it on hard before.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Brian asks in the chat. If
Sorry, I'm driving over a mountain right now. I might lose signal.
All right, well, send me a message when you're not driving through a mountain. This is awful. Let's talk to Mr. Xbox. Mr. Xbox. Are you there? By the way, if you would like to call in, I've changed the Discord link in the description. You just need to refresh.
Nope.
And you're gonna have fun. Hey, are you there, buddy? I think I had an internet hiccup. I need to call my goddamn internet service provider and have them fix. I don't know why I get these hiccups. It's really annoying. But whatever. What can I do?
I don't have that often.
Yeah, I wonder if there's something they could do. I should remember to call them. Anyway, what's on your mind today, buddy? You don't feel like you can't go off the topic or whatever. You call in. If anyone calling in, feel free to talk about whatever you want. I just know that Trump got banned from Twitter. It's big news. And it kind of seems like the conservatives are taking big L's across the board. It seems like the whole conservative movement is falling apart. Maybe yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll start off by saying this. Mark Zuckerberg and Darcy, they've been trying to do this, I'd say, since Trump took office.
You think that they've been trying to ban Trump since he got in?
Not trying. They've been waiting for the opportunity to.
I think, if anything, they've been lenient on the guy. I think they've been lenient on Trump. Because he's been on there posting things on Twitter which are blatant lies for which he has no evidence. And everybody goes, oh, it's so unreasonable that they put that little, this is unverified thing under his messages. Well, yeah, because there's no evidence for the things he's saying, some of these things.
That's why I see it's kind of dangerous. Because when you have, like, people over at Twitter and Facebook trying to censor stuff that they don't like, or I mean, you can always try and fact check things and stuff. I think we can find like common ground on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Is some people are going to say Twitter is censoring things they don't like. The things Twitter are censoring, I hate to say it, are claims that Trump made for which there is no reasonable proof whatsoever. And unless he has that proof, he frankly shouldn't be tweeting it. I bring up a tweet of his where he says 2.7 million votes got deleted by Dominion. He tweeted it about a week after the election. That claim was never verified by anything, and the source of the claim was a random post on the Donald.win. And I think it's perfectly reasonable. I would want him to, what I would expect from the President of the United States is if you tweet something for which there is no evidence that you cannot, prove, I would want you to go in and go, you know what, I made this claim about voter fraud. This one is unverified. I have to admit, it looks as though I may have been duped. Though I do want you to know that we are pursuing other, types of voter fraud that we think there is more robust evidence. Instead, Trump just posts it and goes on to the next thing. And he never revisits
I agree.
it. It's unreasonable.
100% on that.
Yeah. If I post, people who follow me on Twitter, you've seen, if I post something and I find out I was wrong, and it's been trending for a while, and I can't just delete it and undo the damage, I'll issue a retraction. I think it's a noble thing to do, to go, listen, I feel real bad that I tweeted fake news. That was wrong of me. I'll at least, though, delete it, mostly because I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to tweet something that is fake. I take no joy in it. But Trump just does not care. Trump will just be like, yeah, OANN told me the Dominion voting machine switched 100,000 votes to Biden. And you're like, that's a bold claim, motherfucker. Can I see some evidence? Well, it was on the One America News Network. Okay.
Is it worth
is it worth banning all the conservatives?
Free speech. No. There are some people I've seen, like the chick on The View.
Yeah. She's
openly said just ban all conservatives.
Right.
Off of these platforms.
Well, here's the question: I understand that there is no law against lying outside of court. I mean, if I want to go around and tell everybody I'm the king of Russia, you can't you can't hold me legally responsible for that. But if there's somebody on Twitter who is influencing the public discourse in such a way by giving people false information that any reasonable standard of evidentiary proof can say, listen, man, I don't think this is right. I think you got this one wrong. I don't know. I feel like that's a person you go, you know what, man? I think you are a danger to the discourse. Trump, or what do you call it? Twitter is not a place necessarily for just everybody running around calling themselves the king of Russia. If they say we want to be a platform that values true and correct information, then that's reasonable to me. You know?
Is it objectively true and correct, or according to Twitter?
Well, that's the problem. Is
I see that's a point of contention of most people.
Right, and I understand that. The problem is, and I will fight anybody on this. Trump has, and here's the other thing that's crazy. If I ask you a question right now, has Trump ever lied? What's going to be your answer? Of course, right? Of course he's lied. Yeah. Does Trump lied a lot would be my next question, and then who knows?
A lot?
Yeah.
I would.
Does Trump lie more than the average politician?
I'd say a good.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I'd say like a good 40%, 50% of his tweets are pretty unsubstantiated.
So what I don't understand is, Trump supporters tell me, they go, "Oh yeah, I know he lies. Yeah, he's a liar," and I go, "Right? Isn't that bad though?" And I don't even think they think it's bad.
Are his words in?
I mean, he's the president. I would expect of all the people's words who I want to be correct and factual 99.9% of the time, world leaders would be chief among those. I don't like when the president lies to me. I don't like when the king of Russia. I don't like when, Jing Jang Peng Jong Wu Tang, or whatever his fucking name is, leader of China, tells me we don't have concentration camps. Like, stuff like that makes me upset.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. Of course.
But you can't say, well, just because, some people are lying, it's okay for... I don't know. It's a complicated thing. What does this game want me to do? I found a shrine. Congratulations. I don't know what that means. God of War. I'm the God of War over here.
Nice.
So
but,
it's complicated.
I've had this standard that I've used when it comes to speech, and then bad things immediately preceding that said speech. It's 100%. I think most people can agree that 100% that Trump's speech has raised the temperature in the situation, but I would not directly make him responsible for actions that other people do.
Okay, but as I had my friend Max on here. Okay, those guys showed up at the Capitol for a reason.
Yeah.
And the reason was the chief reason, the number one reason those guys were there. You can say it's a combination of factors, but I'm going to say the number one reason those guys are there is because the United States president told them the election was stolen.
And that would be raising the
How are you going to say he's not responsible for telling them that?
Because he didn't say, okay, guys, after this rally, we're going to march down to the Capitol and we're going to go break some shit.
Why wouldn't you? If the election's been stolen from democracy, you should be going and cutting people's heads off. That's the only democratic answer to a stolen election. To be clear to whoever's listening to this trying to get my channel banned, I do not endorse that what has happened. But let's say a guy, like a legitimate... Let's say Adolf Hitler came back from the dead and was about to be sworn in as president. I think we could all agree it's your God-given duty to take a machine gun down there and stop it. But the problem is, that isn't what was happening. At least not to anyone who really pays attention, I think, to the evidence. I think anybody who really looks... You can say that there's questions that need to be examined, whatever else. But to say anyone who says I 100% know that the election was stolen, I would say is wrong. I don't think you do know. I think you have suspicions and you think it's shady that they aren't being looked into. But we have not yet arrived at the point of let's get a machine gun and kill Hitler. I mean, I guess we're always at the point of kill Hitler. You know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
And it is true that Trump has said no violence dispersed, but he didn't ahead of time say, no matter what, let's make sure we keep this peaceful. No matter what, we are going to be the most peaceful people. His rhetoric, I hate to say it, and if the United States president tells me my country's under attack, and I believe him, then yeah, I'm gonna maybe do some things. Okay, maybe he's just so ignorant that I didn't realize that that's where that kind of rhetoric leads. Of course it is.
Yeah.
That's to me telling me, there's a rapist in the town square and he's raping dozens of women. and I go down there and I kill a guy, and it turns out, you know, and you go, well, he wasn't responsible for saying that. You know, he didn't tell you to go kill the rapist. Whatever. This is a terrible analogy, but you kind of get where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I get your example.
Yeah, to say he's not responsible for his followers, well, it depends on what he's telling them. And what he told them was the America's democracy is dead, and you're the only one who can save it. We're the only ones who can save it. Oh my God, this guy is big. I don't have my axe. Give me my. How do I get my axe back? Oh, I gotta hold triangle. There we go.
You playing God of War right now?
I am playing God of War. You played this game before?
Okay,
I've never played this one.
I have not, no.
If you get a PS5, they give you a bunch of free games.
Oh, cool.
You get to play them all for free. Anyway, I think Trump's rhetoric was getting way out of hand. I think Trump even recognized his rhetoric was getting out of hand, which is why he went and he said, look, I concede, let's have a peaceful transition. At no point did he say, let's have a peaceful transition of power until after people started putting bombs in the Capitol. Because he realized, oh, I've gone too far. I hope he realizes that the things he said were going too far. And I know a lot of people are listening to me right now, and they're going, who's this disgusting liberal cuck who thinks the president can't tell us that democracy is dying? I just think, I don't know. I think he went too far. And again, Trump lies. I have his lies on record. I know you guys know that he's lied about many aspects of this election. If he had gone about this very meticulously, if he had said, here's my 5 chief complaints that I want to look into, but he was just, instead he would just tweet every 2 seconds about a new thing. And half of them, more than half of them, were nonsense.
If he went about, it's like, so the election just happened. We have a couple grievances. We're gonna.
Yeah, he said I have some questions that I want looked into, and I think it's unfair that they don't want. I think a lot of more people would have been on his side. But when he comes out and his tweet is 2.7 million votes were deleted by Dominion, a claim for which he has zero evidence other than a post on thedonald.win. I hate to say it, I don't think this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm not really on his side right now. And if this is the
point,
yeah.
And all the legal pathways have been used.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nothing has come up except for a couple thousand votes in different counties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's where I had a problem with the Texas lawsuit. That Texas and a bunch of other states had, and they were going to take it to the Supreme Court. That was the case that the Supreme Court was going to take, but they didn't end up taking it. That's why I had a problem with it, because in a federalist society, or federal, I don't even know the words to explain it, but
yeah,
another state
society.
trying to infringe on another state's elections, it's pretty dangerous as well.
Right.
You could have like, California try and infringe on like Alabama's abortion, and you can have gun laws and stuff. And
I had Dick Masterson on here yesterday, and he brought up a lot of good things about the election. And I honestly wish that Trump had gone about this in a very precise, calculated way, instead of getting on Twitter and whipping everybody up into a frenzy, which I think has turned it into such a mess. I don't know why he thought that was the best way to go about it. Again, one guy got so mad he put bombs in the Capitol building, and I think you can say, well, that's not his fault, but I'm gonna say the fact that he said so many clearly disprovable things, so many half-truths or exaggerations, I'm gonna say, yeah, I think you can be held responsible if you misinform people, and that's my problem, is misinformation. Anyway, yeah, go. Give me your last word on that, Mr. Alex.
On that point, then based on that reasoning, I could say that let's say like Joe Biden's anti-police rhetoric is what led to a guy shooting 2 cops in their cruiser in San Bernardino. I wouldn't blame that event on him though. Yeah.
I think you could, though. I think you reasonably could say that his rhetoric,
Yeah, he raised the temperatures up to that point, but he's not responsible for.
I think what you have to look at was, here's the thing: if somebody tells the truth and it makes somebody do something, that's a lot different than if somebody lies and makes somebody do something. And that's what I feel. I think if Trump had always told the truth, he had never posted any easily disprovable election information, I would be like, of course he can't be held responsible. All this man did was tell the truth. But he deliberately said things. 2.7 million deleted Dominion votes, which has never been proven by anyone. There is no record of that anywhere. It's a nonsense number made up by nobody. And when you post stuff like that, you know, if I'm a guy and I care about democracy and I hear 2.7 million votes have been deleted from my president, I might get angry enough to do something about it. And I don't even think that guy, if he honestly believed that, was wrong. The problem is, again, it was unsubstantiated. All right, Mr. Xbox, I'm going to take some more calls, but I think we understand each other. I love you, sir. Stay safe. Don't get banned from Twitter. All right, hold on. I got to kill this thing. God of War. This is on the PS5, people. I've been thinking about getting a PS5. If anybody online, wants to call me a liberal cuck, feel free to call in. The line is always open. I hope people understand. Here's the thing. So many people are so polarized here. So many people see me talking about this and they think I'm an agent of the Democratic state. I don't even like the Democrats. I don't like the Republicans. I consider myself an independent. I will say that I don't like Trump. Why don't I like Trump? Because I don't like when politicians lie to me. And you can say all politicians lie, and I agree with you, and I don't like any politicians. But when one of those politicians becomes president of the United States, and he's lying about things that are just so blatant and stupid, and his followers are saying that Antifa disguised themselves as his followers to get into the Capitol, I get a little steamed. I don't like living in a world of lies. And I know that's an impossible thing to get away from, and I know there's propaganda and nonsense no matter where you go. But when a guy is so blatant about it, and people give him a pass, they go, well, that's just Trump. He's allowed to lie. I don't like it. I go, no, I don't want the president to lie. I feel like that's a reasonable thing to say. Let's try talking to Chessy Pop. Chessy Pop, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Someone's saying I'm going to watch Donut Operator's stream. Okay, have fun. Donut Operator probably has a much different opinion on this than I do. Let's be real. Chessy, what's going on?
Not much. How about you?
Not much. Just hanging out, checking in on my stream, making sure everything's working. I don't know why it keeps turning off monetization. I guess live chats were turned off. That's fantastic. Well, live chats are back on, so if anybody would like to have yourself heard through live chat, that is now an option, hopefully. Why would you disable live chat, YouTube? Make sure I don't get $1 or $2. Anyway, what do you think about what's going on? Or did you have another topic? Don't feel like you're shackled to my stupid topics.
I think that everything that's happened is kind of going off the rails. And, like, Trump is not fulfilling his oath of office.
Yeah. Trump is not doing the job he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And like, is there something Trump has done that has made you feel that way? Like, what is your great Trump sin that you feel like he's doing a bad job as your president?
I feel like the worst part of it is that I think he knows he's lying, but he goes along with it anyway.
See, that's also my question is, how much of this, does Trump know that he's lying, or does Trump honestly believe, does Trump honestly see a One America News Network report that says 2.7 million votes were deleted, and he goes, yeah, that's what happened, all right. Does not understand that One America News Network was crafted specifically just to lie to him and his fans. I don't know, but I do agree with you that I think he must know that he's stretching the truth at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I do think democracy's in trouble. Anything you wanted to add there,
yeah.
Chessy?
Sorry, what?
Nothing. Thanks for coming by. My favorite caller, Chessy. Let's talk to Lizard1632. Lizard, are you there?
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Nothing much. I've been watching the stream since Wednesday.
Yeah, we've been streaming a lot. It's fun.
Yeah.
I have fun with it, at least. How about you? Are you having any fun or no?
Well, currently doing an assignment for school, but besides that...
Yeah.
It's been a very
opinions
interesting
on what's
week.
been happening?
I feel like Trump getting banned from all the social media, it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
And the Capitol thing, well, I live in the DC metro area, so I was like, and I live near where people would come to get near DC, so I was a little worried.
Yeah,
Like,
and real
more
quick, I want to
people
tell
would show
Tara. Tara, I don't know what your DM is, so you have to tell me. You're telling me you want to call in. I don't even see you in here. Anyway, Lizard, continue.
Yeah, so I was just worried about, like, oh, what if a bigger group shows up?
Yeah.
And it was just like, I get out of school and I knew stuff was happening, you know, the Georgia election, and I just turn on the news. And it's like, the Capitol has been stormed. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was a
just
little
happened?
worried when that happened. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And like the past 3 days, I've been seeing like how Capitol Police kind of, what's going on there?
Yeah, well, it is very odd that it seems like the Capitol Police let some people in. Not everybody went in through that
Yeah.
door. But I think anybody who went in and the police kind of let them go in, I think those guys are not going to get in trouble. Because it does
Yeah.
kind of look like they were like, yeah, I don't know, we can't really stop you, so come this way and don't
Yeah.
touch anything. It's very bizarre.
I just wish that it was like, if the FBI knows that something's going to happen and the president is saying something's going to happen, why aren't you preparing for that?
Well, they were there. I mean, it's not like they didn't have a ton of cops out. It's just people managed to
Yeah.
get past one part of the line at some point.
And then everything fell apart.
Right. Well, that's the thing, is you probably should have had the National Guard there, considering some of the stuff people were posting online. I mean, again, people are saying Trump's not responsible for his followers, but you got guys on some of these websites who are saying, all right, we're going to go into the chamber, we're going to tie up all the congressmen and women, we're going to start shooting them in the head. And you go, well, why do they want to do that? Who put this idea in their head? And again, I think when your president tells you the election, I have suspicions about the election, not, there's something here we want to investigate to make sure it was the fairest election possible. That's not what he's saying. He's saying 100% the election was stolen. The election was stolen is his messaging. And when you say that without evidence, now if he had evidence, I mean, and that's the problem. He probably thinks he does have evidence. Maybe he really does believe that the election was stolen. But according to any evidentiary standard that I or any reasonable person might have, we have not seen good evidence of that. And he whipped these people into a frenzy, and they decided to take some things in their own hands. Again, one guy brought some bombs. Not good. It's not good. You don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, expect Capitol Police. It's going to get a lot stricter to get near the Capitol after this.
Oh God! Well, they're talking about they're going to put up giant fences all around the Capitol to prevent all the nonsense. We'll see. Oh, this is like, I gotta change my gut thing. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I realized I screwed up my
It's just
screen.
like the president. He goes and riles them up, and then the second the chain reaction starts, he just lets them go. He doesn't try and like stop them. He's not like, okay, this is getting out of hand, let me go call Mike Pence and quickly get the National Guard in here. It's like, no, I'll just let them do their thing for 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I would have liked to see more security down there, absolutely. The whole thing was a shit show, and I really hope we don't see anything like this again. All right, Lizard, thanks for coming by. That was my good friend Lizard. Let's see if we can get Bon. Ethan, are you there? Ethan, you have 2
I am
seconds.
here.
All right, there you are. What's up,
Let me mute
buddy?
you on the Twitch here, because I don't... Yeah. All right.
Smart.
Vito, I can't believe you remember me. It's Ethan Bond from Prescott, Arizona. How you doing, Vito? It's been a while since I've been back on the show.
How could I forget that?
How can you forget? It's one of your best callers.
You're one of the oldest time callers is Ethan Bond. He's been around, and we love having him back. Ethan, what's on your mind tonight?
I know. Well, I don't really know. I've always said to myself, there's very few things that I think I disagree with you, Vito. I do believe, what's going on in the Capitol right now is, what's going on in the Capitol right now is it's what you said. It is a lot of lies that I think were said that I think could have been completely prevented if Trump just conceded like he should have. I admit when he was running, I went to a rally of his when he was running, and at first I really enjoyed what I was hearing. I thought, oh my God, this is a guy like anyone else. He's a businessman, and he is wanting to drain the swamp, and I like that about him. He wouldn't quit.
Yeah.
Now, however, when you're going this far, and after 4 years, and what I've seen that he's done, and by all means, he's done a lot of great things, but also a lot of not very good things. And I think some of the lying that he has done when it comes to twisting things that the American people really need to hear, like recently, something about what you've been saying is 2.1 million votes that were, miraculously disappeared with no evidence. That's one thing.
That's a lot.
And that's a lie. And all this could have been prevented if he just conceded. If these people heard from their commander in chief, it's over, stand down. We are now, we're moving on. We're making a peaceful transition, and that's how it should have been done. I think these people were built up in rage from all this misinformation and nonsense that, it's not good to see. And I think we've had enough riots in the last few years that really we should be preventing any more violence, really. So I don't know what's going to happen. We're in for a wild 6 months for sure,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really. I'm not a very what you would call. I'm not a very high political person. I'm independent, like you said. I've come from a very hardcore Republican family, and I've always kind of leaned toward more of the freedom beliefs that the Republicans, believe in. They think, you should vote and decide whatever you want. When it comes to abortion, when it comes to, if you want to own a firearm or not. I think that stuff is good. But then there's some of the, you look at the Democrat beliefs where they believe some power should be lifted from the people to let the government kind of do some of the work for you. And when it comes to taxes, healthcare, Medicare, how much I have to pay for my car. Again, it's some of that stuff where it's like, I would like to independently choose who I vote for in said state that I think would be better for that. So, and I encourage everyone to do that. I don't think you should hardcore
Ultimately,
stick
you think
to,
everybody should be an independent and not go along party lines, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we've been through a very biased 4 years, despite what some good Trump has done. I certainly, when he went to North Korea, I was blown away at that thing. I never thought I would ever see that. I didn't you probably say the same thing. You would never think anyone could do that, to make that effort to change something that has been so politically intense between because a lot of people thought, probably the first person, the first country that would make a world war would probably be North Korea.
All right.
Because they're just
what point are you trying to get to here? Yeah, I get it. He still went to North Korea.
That's it. It was just something like that.
He's done good things and he's done bad things. Ultimately, is what we're.
Yeah. That's my point.
Right.
Really, I would. I like you said. I don't really. We don't have to talk about politics. I really, one thing I wanted to make a comment about. Sorry, it's been so long. I've been on your talk show, Vito.
It's all right.
One thing I wanted to make a comment about is
here about how long it's been in North Korea. I'm like, okay, we all know.
All right, I know.
Okay.
I wanted to really say I loved your Wonder Woman movie because I think not your video. I mean on the movie.
Yeah, my review of Wonder Woman.
I don't really. The one thing that I do disagree is some of your stuff about the DC Universe movie. Why movie? Video on those movies.
Yeah.
I do agree that Zack Snyder's film directing isn't the best, but I think he has a good, mindset in how a movie should kind of behave and how it should look to be more appealing.
Well, he definitely has a good visual style, I'd say, Zack Snyder, but I don't think his plots come together for me in any meaningful way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think since he stepped down, this whole universe has just been a mess. And
yeah, well, it's not even really a universe anymore. I don't know what they're planning.
Not anymore. I don't know what they're doing.
But I am looking forward to seeing what nonsense they put together. I mean, what is going to be the next DC movie? The Flash comes next year. What do they have coming out this year? I don't even know.
Well, in a few months, it will be the Snyder Cut.
Right.
Which
well, that's gonna suck.
I'm kind of interested. It's I don't know. We'll see.
Okay,
it has to be right in the first movie,
We'll find out. All right, Ethan. Well, I am looking forward to seeing what happens with the DC universe, and I do agree with you that I don't understand anybody who picks one party line. I don't think it makes any sense to be a Republican or a Democrat. Just vote with your heart. I guess more Democrats seem to align with me, but there's plenty of Democrats who I think are out of their minds. And I think that's the way to handle politics. That was Ethan from Prescott, Arizona. Ethan Bond from Prescott, Arizona. Let's talk to let's talk to Frowy. We haven't talked to Frowy in a while. Hey, Frill, you there? Frowy is a man with a plan. He left my chat. I guess maybe he's not there. I suck at this game, by the way. So what I need in my life is I need a co-host. I need somebody who can talk when I don't want to talk to nobody. The co-host I wanted is in jail. So he's not going to be on the show. It's not Mr. Girl. Everyone who's asking if Mr. Girl's in jail. No, Mr. Girl's fine. Hey, Daddy DeVito. Are you there, buddy?
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going, Vito?
It's going pretty good. Is there any way to turn up your microphone?
Let me see.
I mean, I can jack you up a little on my side.
Good?
Yeah, it's a little better. What's up?
Alright. It's fine. I'm just whole situation right.
You're still really low.
Okay, hold up. Let me fix this.
Yeah, do you know where your microphone settings are at in, like, Windows?
In Windows?
That sounds a little... Did you bump it up?
A little better?
I think so. Maybe not.
Yeah. Ooh. Great.
I wonder if it's on my... I wonder if I unplugged my microphone or something.
Hold up, let me check the stream. Let's see how I sound like that.
Alright, tell you what, let me put you on next and you try to figure out your audio levels, because they're way too low. Let's talk to Willie B. King. Hey, Willie.
Hey there. How's it going?
It's going okay. How you doing?
Good, good, good. Hold on. Let me just pause the video. There we go. Perfect. Thank you for taking my call. Really
well,
appreciate
thank you for
that.
coming by. I don't know why it seems like...
Alrighty.
Can you talk? Just say some things?
Yeah. Sure. Not a problem. Yeah. So, I've seen what you've been doing the last couple of days. First off, I found you off with your marvelous Star Wars videos. 100% agree with that. Love this Star Wars series. They spit in the face of that. I hate them for it. And I love that you made a video basically showing the same thing.
Right.
Good stuff. So, just wanted to talk about this whole thing with Trump. Good old 45. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess like the gist is, right, everybody that comes onto your show kind of tells you off the back where they lean. So I guess I should probably do the same. Yeah, I mean, as for the most part, I've been a Democrat, a liberal, one of those faithfully liberals your chat likes to talk about.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, like, I've recently, after the last election, I basically switched to independent. One thing that the Republicans would always say, and I guess if you couldn't tell, I am a black man. I have some melanin
I
on me.
almost, I kind of thought it was a black man, but you know, you never want to make assumptions.
You
never
want to
know.
You know, you can't do that these days. You got to make sure. You don't want to hurt my feelings or whatever.
Right.
So,
you sound like a black gentleman. Yeah, no, it's not. People don't like that.
Yeah. So, one thing that Republicans said that was basically right was like, we had basically 8 years of Obama, and what did that really do for the black community? And I was like, holy shit, you're right. Like, you didn't really do a lot, for us like that. So, and then for whatever reason, when Hillary Clinton was there, she kind of just assumed black people were gonna vote for her. I was like, didn't you call us like super predators? And
yeah,
you said a lot of racist shit. So I was like,
both Hillary Clinton and Biden, and they did a lot with crime bills in the 90s. That was very bad for the black communities.
Trust me, I know. So
everybody got really nuts with the drug laws at one point. I don't know what it was. Everybody was so scared of marijuana of all things. It made no sense.
Oh yeah. Oh, hey, listen. I mean, your show is not PG-13. So listen, I'm on that ganja right now. I'm on that ganja
Fantastic.
right now. So,
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad they're legalizing it. I'm glad Biden.
I'm happy for
Biden hopefully is gonna, to his credit, claims he's gonna decriminalize weed at the federal level, which I hope he also goes in and he says every person in jail for weed, let him out tomorrow.
Right. Exactly.
Because this is nonsense. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Doesn't undo the damage he did back in the day, but at least it's a step in the right direction.
Listen, I think for the most part the black community is on his ass. So we got a foot on his neck.
You guys are riding him as you should. Thank God.
Yeah,
he seems to be receptive. I think he knows that the drug policy in this country. He's a little bit still an old white man, but I think now they're like, all right, let's get rid of the drug stuff. It's not helping anybody out. Who even cares,
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I really hate the duo is not my first choice. You got Kamala Harris, who
Kamala's a legitimate cop, which is not nice.
Yeah, and she put a lot of people in jail in good old your state of California, didn't she?
Yeah.
Kind of laughed about it too.
I
don't know.
She seems like optics for there's a certain subset of Democrats who go, well, I couldn't vote unless there's a black woman on the ticket, and you're like, I just want to know who's going to get rid of the drug laws, for the love of God.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that kind of like hit us in the face, because that was one of my requirements too. I was like, listen, Joe, stop dicking me around here, right?
Yeah.
Give me, I need a black woman on the ticket. I need to do something, and then they said Kamala Harris. I was like,
we'll give you Kamala, and you're like, you motherfucker. You tricked me, you motherfucker. Yeah.
I was like, why you choose that? But to get back to my points, I'm also Haitian. Never been to Haiti, but love my people over there. And I just really had issues with the Clintons. They stole a lot of money from my people when that whole earthquake hit, and then they donated and they built like 3 houses. I was like, you got millions and millions of dollars. You built 3 houses? What the fuck is this?
It's always a scam. Everything's a scam.
Yeah. So basically, that last election, when it was between Trump and Hillary, I thought that it was shit and shit. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna vote third party, and then after this, I'm going independent. I'm not doing this. I'm not falling for the okie doke.
Yeah.
So I switched to independent, and then now I was just kind of like, just because I am a black man, I'm kind of just looking out for my community first. Nothing against anybody else. The LGBTs,
who else is looking out for you? I got no problem with that. Look out for your own. It's absolutely your responsibility. I understand that.
That's all I'm doing. I'm just looking
I'm making sure fat Italians get their due. We need the tax on pizza is too high, my friend. Someone's got to help us Italians out.
Hey, listen, man, I love you Italians because I'm from New York, and what you guys did to pizza in my state is nothing but amazing. So.
We're not terrible. We're not terrible people. The Italian community, we like the black community. We got a good relationship, I hope.
Yeah, we F with you guys heavy.
Hell
I
yeah.
already know the whole viewpoint about BLM. Not gonna get into it. Just gonna say I don't like seeing my people, shot and knees on necks and all this other stuff.
No,
But
I hear you.
I also don't agree with vandalism and rioting. And if that happens, and if it's a black man that did it, you can put him underneath the jails. We don't need
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
We're doing this peacefully.
Well, that's the whole thing is we just want people to be reasonable. Everybody thinks if you're one skin color or another skin color, you got to vote the same way, think the same way.
Yeah.
People are individuals. Again, it's like you say,
you go.
not every black person wants Kamala Harris. We don't like...
I definitely don't.
There's all sorts of different ways to look at things.
Absolutely. And basically, it just comes to the point like where Democrats just think that the black community just have like, oh no, you guys are gonna vote for us. We don't even need to
Right. Yeah, we
deal
don't
with your
gotta
issues.
try because no matter what, the blacks are gonna vote for the Democrats. You can't do that. They did the same thing even with Hispanics, and Hispanics voted for Trump like crazy. And frankly, I don't blame them because the Hispanics who can vote, they're already in the country. And they're like, well, we're going to do all these things for immigration, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I'm a citizen. I don't give a shit about immigration. I'm already here.
Right.
Yeah, it's very bizarre that they think that they've got these communities locked up. And it's almost a surprise that we were able to win, thankfully. The Democrats.
Absolutely.
I know other people are mad that the Democrats won. I am happy to see Trump out. I don't think he's a good president. And I think he doesn't set a good example for the country. I don't think he's a unifier. As I've said, my big thing about Trump is I want a guy in there, love him or hate him. I think Biden honestly wants everybody to get along, whereas I think Trump is the kind of guy who goes, it's my way or the highway. If you don't like the Republican way of life, then get the hell out. So, and maybe that's just me, again, with rose-colored or whatever you want to say, being optimistic about Biden. Maybe he'll be a great divider as well. We're going to find out, but I'm willing to give somebody other than Trump a try.
Absolutely. I mean, with Trump's whole thing, it's like, listen, I mean, the same way I'm voting my interests, if someone's a businessman and they're thinking about their bottom line and they want to vote for Trump, like, hey, go for it, because that's your interest. I just feel like everybody vote your interest. But when you kind of incite, a bunch of people to attack the Capitol building, I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean, and people are gonna defend him and say, well, he never told them specifically to attack the Capitol building. And I'm gonna say again, if your president tells you democracy has been stolen, what else could you do but attack a federal building? If anything, that's the best thing you could do if an election's actually been stolen. The problem is I don't think the election was stolen.
I would do it too.
I know people in the chat disagree with me, and they think I'm a liberal cuck for saying so, and we can have it out. Sure, we can talk about that.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
I don't think anybody should be at this point in time. There's no need to be planting bombs at the Capitol or storming into the building or fighting with cops. I don't think we're at that point in democracy. All right, well, Willie, hey, thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
A strong black man's opinion, a Haitian opinion. I like that you speak your mind. I'm sorry that Whitey keeps getting things wrong. But hopefully this ancient white man we've put into the presidency has the black man in his heart. We will find out.
Alrighty. Thanks a lot,
All
Vito.
right, brother. Thanks for coming by. That was Willie B. King, friend of the show, lover of children, in a good way. Lover of children has a new, I guess you can't say lover of children and animals in the age of the internet, where that can mean so many different things. I'm not good at God of War. I'm going to tell you that. Marco says, I lost 15,000 because of the stock market dropping when the Capitol was invaded. I don't know what happened to you, man, because when it went down, I just bought more stock, and it came right on back up. You gotta buy that dip, buddy. Buy that dip. I gotta tell, I should tell Mr. Girl to get in here. I wonder if he's around. I'm gonna send him a message. Because I'll get into these boss battles, and I'm like, will somebody else take over fighting so I can... Maybe I shouldn't be streaming, Maybe I shouldn't be streaming games. I don't know. I don't have a format yet. You wanna drop in on a stream? Boop, boop. I need more friends who are like, I just gotta let people know that I'm streaming so I can bring them on. Don't send me Twitter messages in the middle of If you're trying to message me on Twitter in the middle of doing a show, I'm not going to see it. Chris Topher has super chatted $5. He says, "I'm surprised I did not see you selling hot dogs on the Senate floor. I wish I had been there, and as I've said, I'm a little bit worried about that COVID, so I did not go." JC Calvera says he has an outsider perspective. Let's hear it. JC, are you there? See your little thing popping.
Hey Jordi, Vito, just a moment.
Yeah,
you
no
hear
problem.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, I have to say that I originally come from Spain, and I've been
Okay.
living in the US for 10 years, and I am already a citizen. So these elections, I voted.
Oh, you when did you become a citizen then? Like just now? Or
Actually, in January 2020.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations on voting in your first election. Who did you vote for?
I just a libertarian, so
You voted for Joe Jorgensen? What?
in what happened in this election.
Wait. Sorry, we had a minor hiccup there. Who'd you say you voted for?
Libertarian.
Libertarian. So did you vote for, what was that? Joe Jorgensen was the candidate?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't like any of the other candidates. So.
Well, that's fair, and I support voting independent. It's your vote. No one can tell you. I hate this thing where it's like you're throwing your vote away, and it's like, well, I don't owe my vote to either of those two people, so shut up with that rhetoric. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, I can say that there was some talk that Biden can be a unifier, but I don't think that it will happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
Now.
Do you think the Democrats are going to spend the next 4 years just kind of shitting on the Republicans and treating them wrong?
Of course, because that's what they do. They are politicians.
Yeah,
that's why.
Well, some of them. I mean, some politicians are willing to find compromises. It all kind of depends on what the compromise is and who's asking for it, and whether it's reasonable. I'm gonna die again.
For example,
this game I really wish this game had frickin' potions in it, and maybe it does. I just don't know how to get it.
Or herbs, like in Demon Souls.
Yeah, exactly. I need what do you call it? I need Estus flasks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so about the unifier. So I was watching Ben Shapiro, and he showed a snippet of the Biden's speech after all the mess at the Capitol. And instead of giving the chance to say, okay, everybody unite again, he put more firewood into the fire and said, "Oh,
so you think he's
racist.
Making it worse?
We knew
said,
that."
Yeah, you think after the Capitol he's making it worse with the things he's saying?
Yes, I think that he didn't use the chance wisely.
Did you like what Trump said, where he said, I'm going to respect a respectful transition to power, I'm going to step down peacefully? What did you think about something like that?
I think it's too late. It was too late. Of course, it is good. It was too late when he said after the fact. He should have said that.
Should have done that
ago.
months ago, but when everybody was losing their mind and talking about storming. I mean, you got guys on these websites who are talking about, we're going to storm the Capitol on the 6th. And I'm sure there's got to be some Secret Service or something that comes to him and goes, hey, just so you know, here's the thing that might happen. We have a warning of a potentially credible threat.
Sure,
that's why they had all the cops there,
even during the speech in Washington, he could have said, let's go to the Capitol, let's protest, and then we go all home, and we do nothing violent, and be very clear.
We take it to the court.
But no, he was
ambiguous.
Into the court. We are different from all those radicals, etc., etc., etc.
Well, I hate to say it. I think Trump plays into his QAnon base when he tells them, wait till the 6th, something's going to happen. And you're like, listen, man, how about instead of having like little like secrets and like little surprises, how about you just tell us exactly what's going to happen? Because the truth is, the only thing that happened on him was he just kind of gave a speech, and he wanted Pence to oppose the electors, which Pence did not do. I guess Pence kind of wants to keep his job as a politician and doesn't really want to rock the boat too much. But I don't know. Yeah,
but he cannot do that, right? The Congress they only count the votes. So when they are certified by the states, Congress only counts them and prefers it.
Probably does not have the ability to do anything. Oh, I just killed this hippie and it rules. Please finally be dead. You dirty hippie. So yeah, Trump
Yeah,
is,
but,
neither Trump nor Pence, I guess, or neither Trump nor Biden has necessarily managed to mend tides. And now we've got to the point where we're banning everybody from Twitter and Facebook and everything else. Now, people in the chat are saying Trump has controlled the military and we can't speak to him. This is wild. I don't think it's wild that we can't speak to him on Twitter. There's other ways to get in touch with the president other than Twitter, and it's not the American people that should be talking to him about the military anyway. So I'm not too worried about that.
Can you call the White House?
I can't call the
A
White House.
landline?
No, that's not a...
I said, hey, I want to speak with Mr. Trump, the president. I'm a citizen.
The
I have
American
the
people
right.
are not supposed to be able to necessarily call the president whenever they want. Anyway, it's strange times. Are you optimistic about the future of our nation? Do you think we're moving in the right direction?
Of course.
Yes. Well, that's
Absolutely.
what really matters. All right, thanks, Jay Calveras. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. That was Jay Calveras, good friend of ours. We've gotten a couple messages here while we were gone. That's a lie. We've got no messages, and that's fine. Don't forget, you can, what do you call it? I don't know what I was going to say. Why is this whole game just Kratos limping from place to place? It's exhausting. Let's talk. Let's talk to Olympus Murderer. Olympus, are you there? Olympus Murderer. That's a strong name if you're there, buddy.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Why does it feel like everybody's audio is super low? Am I crazy? I think
my
my
mic is-
headphones are broken. Hey, turn me off on YouTube and just listen to me on Discord, alright? I'm gonna mess with my volume settings real quick, because I feel like everybody's so low in the mix for me. Speakers, Realtek. I don't know. Are you there, Olympus?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright, whatever. I can hear you. What's going on, buddy?
Well, I'm good, yeah.
Cool. What's on your mind?
I was just like, I was really disappointed with like what happened in America and like that misinformation about what happened in the Capitol, because I feel like a lot of people don't really know like
Well,
the
you're talking
truth
about
and
the
like
misinformation where they said Antifa did it, which is crazy nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. It doesn't even make any sense. Why would Antifa... they're like, Antifa's trying to make you look bad. I'm like, I don't think they're that organized, you guys, that they're going to dress up like MAGA people, and it was a nonsensical accusation.
One thing is I do think the media did paint it differently. I think they always do.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that it was like an attempt where they would organize themselves to go and make the conservatives look bad.
No. It was nonsense.
But another thing is, I feel like I think the reason why people are mad is because I definitely do think there were people who were genuinely there to protest on what happened, and I think I agree in terms of the fact that I do think that the presidency was fraud.
Yeah.
I don't think it was legitimate. There were just far too many like spikes in the votes, and I think it was not organized well.
Well, do you think there's evidence that something might have you want it to be looked into? You would say you lean towards believing that it was fraudulent.
I would say so. I know some people disagree, but I think it definitely was fraud because
if they looked into it and they
votes.
came back, if they looked into it and they came back and they said we couldn't find any evidence of voter fraud, would you ever accept that, or would you always think, nah, something happened here?
I think something. I mean, if they genuinely say like, okay, then like if they went through all the stuff, I think I would believe them. But I think a lot of the truth has been like a lot of Democrats have just been saying to us and to everyone who has been trying to research this. All they have been saying is, okay, don't worry. Like all they've been saying is like, go home. Like don't worry about it. Like because they know they've already won. Because by this point, I highly doubt that Trump can turn it around.
Right.
So I think
Well,
by
Trump's
this
saying
point, they know they've
Trump's
won.
already saying, let's have a peaceful transition of power, which is basically Trump saying it is over. I mean, at this point, there's no chance of Trump
over.
getting in
I
there
mean,
now. Yeah.
I was also disappointed because there was so much proof that it was fraud.
Yeah.
And I don't I know it's really complicated, but they didn't, they said they were going to release the Kraken when they go to court, then they didn't go to the court. I feel like some people were overly like hopeful and they didn't take it seriously enough to me. Like, because I think they should have just told everyone the truth. But I think one thing is also the fact that in social media, a lot of people's voices are being censored, and so it's much harder to put out the truth that might not agree with with what Twitter thinks and stuff. So they're gonna ban you. And a lot of Trump's tweets were banned. Like, for example, he had this one tweet where
go ahead.
Where like he was saying like, go home in peace. Like he was saying like, don't, go out there and like kill people and stuff when that whole stuff was happening in the Capitol. He tweeted that out, and then Twitter removed it, and then in the media they kept saying, oh, Trump encouraged them. And I think a lot, even if it's not voter fraud, is definitely media bias, because the media always, for 4 years, they have been saying how Trump is garbage and how all this stuff happened, the Russian bots. I think all this stuff has been building towards this. So if it's not fraud, it's definitely the media completely like being biased and affecting what the people actually think, and not enough of the truth was being expressed.
So when you hear that Trump has been banned by Twitter, you think that this is a plan to kind of censor conservatives in general, or him and his followers? I definitely
think that's the case, because it's a bias. But overall, I think like the fact that you can't even have free speech is like that's a huge issue. It doesn't matter, like. You could say that, okay, he might because I do think that Trump has said some dumb stuff in the past, but I don't think you should, like in Facebook, they've completely deleted his account. Like, I think this is just absolutely insane how there's no free speech. They're banning all platforms where there is even a remote amount of free speech, and I definitely disagree with that, and I think that has affected the votes. I think that...
yeah, go ahead.
I think that this is like the end of democracy, because if you can cheat your way through winning, I think that's just like absolutely ridiculous, because and not enough people are speaking up. Like, don't see anyone talking about, oh, like it was fraud. Some people thought that some people think that Biden is already president. Like back in 2020,
before he's been confirmed, or
yeah, before he's been confirmed. A lot of people didn't even realize that, okay, they're still counting the votes. The media has so much power, and they already told everyone, like, yeah, Biden is the president, blah, blah, blah. They were already celebrating back then. And now everyone thinks that, like, oh, Biden was president a long time ago. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, no one knows the truth. That's the biggest problem.
So
and the stuff that the media...
You think that there's been widespread voter fraud, and that the media? Do you think the media and the tech companies are working to cover it up? Is what I'm hearing.
I mean, they covered Joe Biden completely. I think they carried Joe Biden. Without the media and the big tech, I think Joe Biden wouldn't have won this election. The only way he could have won it,
go ahead,
was by pure fraud, which which I think that it was fraud, but if it wasn't, then it was definitely the media and the big tech companies.
And now, why do you think they're doing this? Do you think that they are biased? Like, do you think they know they're lying, or do you think that they, basically there's two ways to look at it. One is that they know Trump won, and they don't want to report on it because they don't want Trump to be the winner. The other option is that they legitimately think that Biden won the election, and they don't understand that the voter fraud needs to be taken more seriously. So do you think this is them lying, or just them being stupid?
I highly doubt they're stupid about this. Like, the amount of tweets that were censored is absolutely insane. The amount of voices that were censored is absolutely insane. I highly doubt that they didn't know. Or why would they censor all these people? Like, a lot of people were posting the charts and how it was, like, complete nonsense, and they were censoring all of it. They definitely know what's going on, and
Yeah.
I think it's just that they don't disagree with Trump's political opinion. I think it all comes down to the Democrats. All they want is power, and I'm not saying okay whether which side, like it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or conservative. Either way, the whole Republican Democrat thing, I think it's corrupt because the Republicans, in my opinion, would have done the same thing if they were in the same position as the Democrats right now. I think they would have also been capable of fraud. So I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying that not enough people are speaking up about it. I think that there needs to be more free speech. And I think right now, this is the end of democracy, is one literally with fraud. No one is talking about it.
Well, if
No one
it's
is
the end
talking
of
about how
democracy, now, where do you think this goes? Do you think this is the Democratic Party has people in charge who are, going to the media and working with them?
Think like.
Yeah. Well, here's my question though: is you have Republicans who are, working in these same organizations. I'm sure there's at least a few Republicans working at places like Twitter and Facebook. I mean, why haven't they come out and said these things? You think they've really figured out a way to make sure nobody can ever blow the whistle? I mean, couldn't somebody blow the whistle on all this and then, uncover the whole thing? Or you think they'll just keep covering that up too?
I mean, all they have been doing is covering it up. I mean, the fact that movies are being politicized, like, I know this has nothing to do with anything, but the Star Wars trilogy, the sequel trilogy was garbage. And a lot of it was because it was politicized. They enforced stupid politics on it and it ruined the movies. So if it can get to the point where they're even willing to go to entertainment and say, you have to have these checkboxes, I think that definitely they wouldn't let anyone blow the whistle.
Well, when you say they, you think what? You think the Democrats have something to do with making Star Wars suck? Who's in charge?
Not the Democrats themselves. I think it's Hollywood, big tech, and the Democrats.
All right. Well, I think you're accusing a lot, but the problem is, you're trying to put together this conspiracy. At some point, you have to have somebody running something. At some point, somebody's got to be in charge of this. And then you get guys and they tell me, well, it's George Soros. And I go, I don't really think George Soros cares what's in a Star Wars movie. I don't think that's a big part of his his plan. Thank God Geek Variety in the chat is telling me how to get past this part because I'm an idiot. Throw the axe in the glowy spot to keep it from going back up. I figured it out. Okay, I'm an idiot. Anyway, man, look, I'm even with you when I say I think that they were too quick. I would have liked some investigation. I like the idea of doing an investigation that would hopefully, let's say there's fraud, then good, you get what you want, that you uncover fraud. And if there is no fraud, I get what I want, which is to convince you, look, man, we did the investigation like you wanted. We couldn't find anything, and I hope that you will respect the rule of law
But
here.
Again, again, if it wasn't fraud, then why are they so hesitant about it? Like, if they really think that it wasn't fraud, then okay, in order to rub it in the face of Trump even more, they would have made the investigation. They would have let them make the investigation just to even show how legitimate they were. But the fact that they're scared of that tells me that it's clear fraud, or else they would have allowed it.
I'm not sure if it's fear or if it's just they don't want to waste time and they just want to get onto the president. And a lot of these things is to start a court case, you have to tell them exactly what the court case is going to be about. I don't know. I guess I would have liked... The problem is there's so many different complaints. Some people want to look at the voting machines. Some people want to recount the hand ballots. Some people are mad that some ballots didn't have dates on them. So I think the courts just got, frankly, overwhelmed with the amount of different accusations that were being leveled. It's not like there's any one thing that the Republicans are pointing at. And I think that's almost part of the problem is the courts go, it seems like you guys want to investigate every single thing, which makes me think like you don't have evidence of any one thing, because if you did, you'd focus entirely on that. It's a complicated situation, but I do agree that I think it would have been nice to investigate things and hopefully either uncover what maybe happened or at least put people's fears to rest. I am starting to lean towards that. And who knows? And maybe we will still investigate this in some respect. But obviously, since it's not going to overturn the election at this point, it's probably pointless. All right, Olympus, thanks for coming by, man. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, thanks.
I understand your frustration. Though I don't agree. I mean, I don't agree that from the evidence I've seen no convincing anything that says the election was stolen. But just because I'm not convinced now doesn't mean I couldn't, be convinced in the future if some sort of evidence did come out. And I would like for my fellow Americans to say, well, thank God we investigated it. Though I honestly think that it's one of these situations where even if we did a full investigation, I think people would still say, well, that investigation was corrupt. I don't think anyone would ever truly... I think people are saying if we did an investigation and it came back that there was no corruption, I'd accept it. I honestly think those people, most of them, are not being truthful. I think if an investigation came back and said there was no fraud, they would say, well, that's just, again, another Democrat plot with the media and the Facebook and the tech. I don't think any of them would ever believe it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And yes, voter ID. I'm in favor of voter ID. I think it's reasonable. I think voter ID would, again, put a lot of thoughts to rest. And I think we should definitely be looking into it. Christopher Stone with the $10 super chat says, if Biden extends an olive branch to the right, I could see healing. They did an audit on the votes that would have helped a lot with attentions. I agree. I wish they had done an audit just so we had something to point at. Even if you don't want to believe it, we could go, listen, man. But as somebody, I mean, we did do some audits. Let's not say that we didn't do any recounts. We didn't do any audits. We did do them. We've looked them up. They did a full recount in Georgia, I believe we were talking about. I don't have the exact... They did an audit of the sample ballots. I don't know exactly what happened. So it's not like nothing was done. There were recounts. And there were primarily recounts, again, in counties where the votes were so close that we needed to get a recount to make sure we did it right. And all those recounts came back. They said, yeah, we got it right. Nothing, no major problems. So, I don't know. Can I say why it wasn't stolen? As we've said on this channel before, how can I prove a negative? The burden of proof is on the person making the claim. Okay? You're the one claiming it was stolen. That means the burden of proof is on you. I'm the one saying, I don't know, man. We have the numbers. Here they are. You don't like them? Why? You got to tell me. I can't tell you why I like them. I like them because we counted them. And they came out to a certain number. What am I going to do? What can I tell you? Are they about to kill my kid in this game? Let's talk to Magoos. Magoos?
Yo, what's up?
What's up? Oh, I love your microphone. That's a good sounding mic.
Thank you. Here, I just like to say to everyone that my conspiracy is that Grogu will train with Mace Windu and become a Sith Lord.
No. Come on. Grogu can't go Sith. Why would Mace Windu turn him into a Sith of all people? I do want Mace Windu to come back.
Like,
they have to bring Mace Windu back, right?
Yeah, I hope. It'd be
cool. If they don't bring Mace Windu back, we've got nothing to live for.
Or at least like in the Boba thing, because like to build a connection between him and like Jango and stuff, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I would be excited to see Mace Windu come back. I'm friends on Twitter with the creator of Luke Cage on Netflix, who is a big proponent for Mace Windu coming back, and so hopefully we get that. We'll see what happens. I just want them. They need to, as other people are saying, I think they got to get rid of the sequel trilogy, because otherwise you're telling me either A, Grogu dies, or B, he survives another Jedi purge. There's another... Why are the Jedi constantly getting purged? It's so stupid. The movie was called Return of the Jedi, and then 2 movies later we have The Last Jedi? What kind of fucking return is that?
Yeah.
There's no return at all.
They could probably retcon the sequels because, like, I've just thought about it. Like, a lot of the events that happened in the sequel trilogy feels like an entire alternate universe. So I think it could be possible if they wanted to, but...
It should, it should be an alternate universe. It would be very easy to do it.
Yeah.
One problem is that Star Wars has invested... They really were like, we're going to make the sequel trilogy is going to be what everybody wants. Like, they even went and made that whole theme park, and it's all sequel trilogy themed.
I hate that.
Yeah. Oh, God. Who wants to meet the First Order? Who wants to meet what do you call it? They have like Kylo Ren walking around.
Yeah.
Who wants to meet Kylo Ren? I want to meet Darth Vader. I want to meet
Yeah.
Chewbacca. Oh, I guess you get Chewbacca no matter what time.
I want to
of year
see
it is,
like
but-
I want to see like Darth Maul or someone. I don't know.
Yeah, I want. Everybody wants. Yeah, exactly. Why don't they change the time period of the land depending on the day? You can show up for.
I just
yeah,
want to see Jar
Prequels
Jar,
Day.
like a whole like pack of Gungans.
I want Jar Jar, baby. There's no love for Jar Jar. There should
Yeah.
be a little bit of love for Jar Jar. I want to meet the one guy. I want to. Wait, somebody is saying the quartering has been banned from Twitter? You're kidding me. No, it can't be. We have to check this now. Hold on, hold on. Do you know the quartering? My friend, who I am talking to on the internet, whose name is Magooz. Do you know the quartering?
I don't.
The quartering is a man. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hold on, I'm looking it up. Trump is now tweeting on his Team Trump account. All right, real quick, we're gonna pause the game. We're gonna head over to check out what's going on Twitter. Oh my god, am I gonna get banned? Am I gonna get banned? I'm not the court. People are saying I'm the quartering. I'm nothing like the quartering. I'm totally different from the quartering. Anyway, what was you thinking before I got sidetracked on this nonsense?
About I guess like the situation like from the past few days.
Yeah, I don't know. You got any thoughts on it?
I just think it's just time to move on, and like we have to just look forward to the future and like not give total hate to everyone, but like just commit to plans, commit to actually like uniting the country. But it's a general statement. It's gonna take time, but still,
Yeah.
I mean,
People are claiming the quartering has deleted himself. That's cheating, the quartering. You're just trying to get some of that dang, you're trying to get some dang clout. Well, but now people are saying Trump is now tweeting from his other account. This account, yeah, see, it says this account doesn't exist, which is different from saying this account has been suspended. Oh, no. He'll be back. He'll be back. Maybe this is smart. You take your account down so they can't ban you. I don't know if they can ban you if your account doesn't exist, because then you can bring it back whenever you want. One thing you can do on Twitter is you can suspend your own account for up to 30 days and get it back whenever you want. Ooh, yay. What do you think about banning people from Twitter, conservatives? What do you think about that?
if it's like actual hate speech, if it's like really vulgar, then I definitely think so. If it just like riles up more people from the situation and escalates it, I think it's pretty necessary.
Well, they have now
It
banned.
all depends.
They have now banned Team Trump. Team Trump is gone, my friends. Sorry, I had to drink this delicious lemonade. Here's what it comes down to, Magooz. The world is changing. It's a changing world. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No more Trump. No more sequel trilogy. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Those are the two things that, frankly, I want in my life, and I got one of them. Trump is gone. I hate to say it. I'm a happy camper. I did not want any more Trump. I know that makes some of you upset, but I got to be honest to myself. Just getting a little sick of that guy. And the next thing I want is to get rid of that sequel trilogy, Mace Windu and Grogu Adventures. They're going to become Sith, and they're going to kill Rey. They're going to murder Rey.
Well, we're like, I think there was like, I was saying on like online that like Rey was like a Kenobi or something. I don't know.
They thought she was a Kenobi. They thought she was a Skywalker. They thought she was, well, I mean, she ended up being a Palpatine, which is so stupid. I don't even know. It's all been a nightmare. The whole thing.
If they make a Rey standalone movie, we're in trouble.
They will not make a race. I can guarantee. Rey might Rey might show up on like a TV show, but she ain't getting. They're not doing any. If you've noticed, none of the new Star Wars projects are set in the sequel trilogy. They don't want to do anything in that sequel trilogy era because they know it's so boring and nobody cares. Thank God, because what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Watch Finn teach people how to identify spaceships?
Yeah. The control of the ship is right there.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming by.
Yeah,
sorry I
thank you
wasn't
for
able to get you
having
on
me.
before, Magooz, but come on back.
That's okay.
We'll have you on again.
All right, cool.
Right,
Thank
buddy.
you.
All right. That was Magooz. We got Rylan He's cutting the line with a $10 donation. Says, "Let's talk Star Wars." I gotta get a. As you may have noticed, I'm stumbling. I'm bumbling. Because when you're hosting a show by yourself, I don't know how some podcasters do it. Host an entire show by yourself. I'm gonna get a co-host. Hopefully, I'm gonna break my co-host out of jail, and then I have somebody to take over when I just want to play God of War because I'm out of words. But I'm gonna keep soldiering through. Roll-in/Manatech, are you there? It says you have no microphone. We will find out, I suppose. But 2Tim505 with the $2 donation says, "I love Jar Jar." We all love Jar Jar, buddy. Royalin, you have spectacularly failed by donating me $10 and then not having a microphone.
Hey, hello.
There it is. I was gonna say you really screwed the pooch with giving me money and then not having your microphone working. That was a
Man,
classic
I've been
maneuver.
giving you money for the past 3 fucking days, man.
Well, it finally pays off. Finally,
Fucking pays off, man.
How you
Man.
doing, Rylan? How you feeling?
For the first of it's rolling.
Rolling. We are rolling with Roland here on the Vito Show. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm
Weird
doing
day,
pretty fine.
Weird times. Weird times. Are you in America? Are you an American?
No, actually, I'm in Poland.
Wow, fantastic. So we got a. Poland is probably a lot less nonsensical than what we got going on here today in America. We're always fighting.
No. Actually, yesterday when I was listening to your conversation with the people, especially with the Canadian.
Yeah.
I was listening and I was thinking that that people do need to fight for their own rights, but they need to do it in their own, perspective or their own. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty fucking drunk.
Yeah, I understand. You need to. Well, first of all, you need to do it in a way that is not violent. Hopefully.
No.
Is the last thing you get to.
No.
Yeah.
But if you need to fight for your own goddamn rights, you need to make it kind of guerrilla and kind of political.
Yeah.
if you understand, because you cannot, because you live, and you Vito also live in the same country. You live in a country that is built on refugees and political uprisings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you guys don't want a 2020 uprising of Biden's over Trumpins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
From what I understand, you being a very open person, you want to listen to all of the people and want to listen to
all kinds of opinions. Yeah.
Exactly. And from what I have seen, because at some point, a couple of days ago when I was in bed 5-6 a.m., my Twitter started lighting up and it was oh, DC is getting attacked, oh my god, Jesus Christ, people died. And I was like, what the fuck happened? Jesus Christ.
It did sound really bad for a second.
What?
It sounded really bad at first, for sure. We were like, "Oh my god, who's doing this?"
Yeah. It basically, the first Twitter post that I saw is DC is being attacked.
Yeah.
And then I thought Olympus has fallen.
Well, that's thankfully it didn't get. I mean, when I first heard it, I was actually watching my stock portfolio. And I was like, man, I'm doing good today. I was up $800. And then all of a sudden it started crashing. I'm like, I wonder what's happening. I wonder if something. And then I looked and it's like, the government is being taken over by radicals. I'm like, well, that's not good. Luckily, I didn't sell everything. I researched it for 2 seconds. And I went, oh, come on. A bunch of protesters broke in. It's going to be fine. They're not trying to kill the president, thankfully. But there was a moment where we were like, this is not supposed to happen. This is not how democracy functions in this country. So it was very scary for sure.
Of course, it was scary. But if I can say something about like the difference between the European approach about uprising and American approach about uprising.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple of months ago in Poland, we had a poll, which is literally called a poll, that just basically banned all of abortions. The only abortions a woman can get is from rape.
Yeah.
If your woman got raped, you can get her abortion. You cannot, if your child is gonna be born retarded,
missing all its
with
limbs.
2 heads and anything like that, you have to live with it. And like the women of our country just went out and I was with them. I'm not a feminist. I am not a feminist, but I was like with them. Like fuck the fucking decision of the government. But like the thing that like I talked with my friends today. Like the thing that if we would do the same thing, like the Polish people stormed the House of Congress. Let's call it like that. If we would storm that in the Polish meaning, that would mean a literal revolution.
Right. It wouldn't be like a little thing. That would be a serious problem.
That would be like, oh my god. But like whenever I wake up and I look at my Twitter poll and I see like Americans did something, I just fucking bake popcorn and just sit down. and like the Americans storm the Congress and like they sit down, there are Vikings and fucking baked Alaska and all that
baked
shit.
Alaska of all people. Oh my god. That's the worst. Hopefully you guys in Poland are not following Baked Alaska at all.
Dude, believe me, the stuff that is happening over there on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch is more interesting than is happening over here in Poland. Believe.
Yeah, well, because we're all insane in this country for some reason.
I wouldn't call you insane because some people, Vito, call you insane,
right?
Because of your approaches, your
My
rights
opinions
and
on
your
things
opinion,
like Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah, and like I watched your 1 hour movie about why Star Wars sucks.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, that's right. He's right.
He's got a point there. Yeah.
He's got a point. And like explain to me, like why can't Americans, like because you have the liberals and Democrats.
Yeah.
Why can't you just create a like a goddamn fucking battle royale?
I mean, we've been talking about it. That's what Dick was, or somebody was saying. All the politicians should get put in an arena with a gun. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that's the best way to handle it, but the more people who suggest it, maybe it is. Maybe that's the way to handle it.
No, because
everybody throw down.
Because slowly America is turning into the movie, and I'm sure that you watched it, Idiocracy.
Yeah, that is always a problem, especially now when we have like Coca-Cola and Axe body spray telling us that the rule of law should not be ignored. We're reaching a very strange world. I do not like it. It is very bizarre.
America is turning into Idiocracy. A wrestler is gonna fucking rule America at some point. You already had a...
If The Rock got elected president, I would not even be surprised. I think if Dwayne Johnson ran for president, he'd have a pretty good chance of getting up there.
I'm pretty fucking sure with the Twitter polls and everything, Dwayne would get elected.
Yeah, he'd have a good chance. Let's put it that way. As Geek Variety has mentioned, Trump was on an episode or two of WWF. He was in the ring back in the day, so it's almost the same thing. Anyway, man, I hope over in Poland you're watching what's happening, and I want to tell you that America has everything under control, but clearly we don't. But now in Poland,
Vito,
when people look at a guy like Trump, Do Polish people think, how could the Americans elect that nut job, or do you guys actually think he's worth having as a president? What is the opinion kind of amongst the Polish people?
Are you asking about Biden or Trump at this
Either
point?
of them. I would imagine
Either of
Trump
them.
though is the one that probably gets more interest.
Well, yes. When it comes to Trump, like at some point, Trump, tried to establish Polish American, connections and stuff like that, and he did remove our visas so that we technically don't need our visas. And Vito, I'm sorry, I have to ask you, but I have to ask you to, I have to drink my tea.
Okay.
Do you have to drink your tea also?
Do I have to drink my tea?
Yeah, like your tea.
I don't know what reference you're making, but you're just taking a sip. You're taking a sip.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. No, I don't need a drink. I'm good.
Okay. So continuing, when it comes to like the relationship between America and Poland, it was also always kind of bumpy because at some point, the Russians told us to build, ballistics missiles around them, and also the Americans said the same thing and stuff like that. And Poland is like the neutral fucking, like we like to fuck with them ground.
Yeah.
For the past couple of 100 years. But when it comes to the relationship between the former president, because chat, I'm addressing you right now. He is not your president. Biden is your president right now.
Right.
He is president elected.
Trump is on the way out.
Yeah. So when it comes to the relationship between Trump and Poland, yes, he did a couple of good things towards Polish people, and I thank him for that because a couple of my friends got really, really good jobs over there in America.
Yeah. Did he make it easier to immigrate, is what you're saying? He made it easier to come from Poland to America?
Yes, because basically we don't need, like a
visa type
we don't
thing. Yeah.
we don't need a visa. Because basically from Poland, if we wanted to visit America, let's say 7 years ago, we either needed tourist visa, student visa, or a work visa.
Okay. So you guys like him for that, but on the ultimate like world scale of politics.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him is what you're thinking. He was not good for the world. He kind of made things a little crazy, maybe emboldened some of the wrong people.
Man, he almost, or you guys, and I mean Americans right now.
Right.
In January, February, almost quote unquote started World War III.
How did we do that in January?
No, because of the tweets and the things that he had done.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we did not start World War III. I'm sorry that we elected a man who put that fear in you and your countrymen. But I promise, I'm hopefully the next guy, you'll like him a little bit better.
Well, I'm not sure that I'm going to like him a little bit better, but he is Obama's bro.
Yeah, so it gives you like. Did you like Obama? Well,
I need to see what he brings into the office, because let's not lie to each other. America is the greatest power in the world right now.
Right.
You control everything.
Right.
And if you don't control oil reserve, you will control it soon.
That's what we're always hoping to do, is take all the oil. We'll see if it happens. All right, man. Well, hey, thanks, Roland, for coming by, and we'll see how everything progresses. All right, buddy.
Well, thank you very much for having me on, and Vito, I love what you did with Star Wars, and I really wish that we would speak about Star Wars.
Well, next time you call in, I'll tell you what. I'm sure we'll be talking about Star Wars in the future, so stick around, and next time, hopefully we can get on that topic. All right, buddy.
I'll be watching, man.
Have
Till
fun.
next time.
All right, that was Roland from Poland, the Big P. I just blew up a bomb, which is the, I guess what you're supposed to do in this game type. We did get a couple chat messages real quick. 2Tim again said, I love Jar Jar. I agree with 2Tim. Seth Hall says, America was fine before we killed Harambe. Very true. Seth also says, I'm slipping money on your G-string for a good time. Yikes. You don't want to do that. And he also says, this guy definitely looks like Nico Bellic. Roland, you'll have to send us a picture to see whether we can confirm or deny whether you look like Nico Bellic. I assume you do. Nico Bellic was Russian, though, right? Was he Polish? Can't remember. Nico. I don't know what kind of name that would be. Thought he was Russian. Let's talk to Smiley Trashbag. Which I failed to drag into the... Did I just kick him out? Maybe he was AFK. How about Funky Cold Medina? Is Funky Cold Medina there? Funky? Funky Cold Medina, hello. I love you. Hey. How are you?
Huh?
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. What's on your mind, buddy?
I don't know. My mind's racing right now. I didn't expect to be fit.
Well, welcome to the show. I love you.
I heard about all that stuff the other day, and I was like,
Yeah, what do you think about everybody getting banned from Twitter here? It's pretty crazy.
oh, Twitter. They're well within their right to do it. Like you can't change the law, really, about it. Especially since he's conservative. Like, the main thing about conservatives is they think that, like, not to really change freedom. Oh, well, I guess. If he did that, it'd be... I don't know.
Yeah. Well, are you a conservative?
I always say, like, I can't vote because I'm 17.
Oh, because you're 17,
So,
you can't vote?
And also, like, I watch videos of George Carlin, and I think he's smart with what he says, like, that he didn't vote because none of it would be his problem.
Yeah.
So I'm probably
if you
never
stay
gonna vote.
out of it, it's everybody else's problem.
I could blame everyone else, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's never
that
my
seems
fault.
that seems like cheating almost to not even take part in it.
Yeah, it's
You're
it's cheating 'cause I'm
cheating
not
the
even getting
system,
involved,
man.
but I could point the finger.
Yeah. Well, I want you to know that I appreciate your ability as an American to take the cheater's way out and not participate in the process. I mean, obviously now you can't even participate in the process due to your age, but I hope you stay true to the old American ideal of being a lazy bastard who everything is everybody else's problem. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Thanks for coming by. Always good to see you, Funky Cold Medina. I think that guy was I think that young teenage whippersnapper was smoking the reefer. I could be wrong. Seemed to be having himself a time. Seth Hall says I'm sitting in the queue. Is your name Seth Rowe? You gotta tell me what your name is. Seth, is that you? Seth Rowe in the queue. How you gonna donate me money and not tell me what your dang username is? Geek Variety, I talked to you yesterday. All right, you'll go next. How's that? I'll put you in Geek Variety. Cause Seth ain't even there. He tells me he wants to talk to me, donates me $2. I don't even know what his frickin' username is. Hey, Geek Variety, you there?
There we go. Yeah,
Hey.
let me mute real quick. Hey, man.
Hey, buddy.
You know what? I've just been biting my lip at all the dumb shit I've been hearing tonight.
There's a lot of opinions flying around.
Yeah,
some
no,
good,
I know.
some
I'm
bad.
just fucking around.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking around. All right, one thing I'm not fucking around with though is, all right. First thing is, and I can't remember where the source is from this, but Trump was counted as lying nearly 36,000 times his entire time in office.
That's
So there,
crazy.
that was one thing.
That's insane. That's I don't even know how you calculate all that. My God.
I consider myself somewhat of free speech absolutist to a degree. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm kind of the mind if you know if some free speech is good, then all free speech is good. But when you're talking about Twitter, it's a private company and they can do whatever the fuck they want. So these arguments about free speech are just out the fucking window. I mean, and you got to give them, as much as fucking Jack and all those other people free Twitter are total fucking idiots. They're just, you know, they're fucking complete morons. You got to give them a little bit of credit because they've tolerated Trump's shit for 4 years.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason they've actually taken action now is because he's on the way out. It's like, all right, well, he's almost gone, so fuck it. We're not going to, you know, what's he going to do now? So I don't know. The whole thing about free speech is like, I get it, man. I totally get it, but it's a free company. It's a private company. They can do whatever the fuck they want. So
Yeah, and I
don't
also
know.
think, I hate to say it, I think Twitter's been pretty lenient on him.
Oh, they have.
They said,
Absolutely.
listen, man, yeah, you are the president, and we want you to be able to talk to the American people, but you can't just say nonsense.
Yeah,
You know,
there's a line, and he definitely crossed it. I mean, there's no two ways about it. He crossed the line from free speech into running into a crowded building and screaming fire. I mean, plain and simple. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, so all the people who say, you know, I think if Twitter was biased, they would have banned him a million years ago. I don't know, but now
for sure.
but now people are saying the rules are maybe changing, and maybe now they're going to be more biased than they've ever been. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what's going to happen.
You know what? This is kind of interesting because you got to look at Twitter. They're still a developing platform.
Yeah.
So they're dealing with these things as they come up because this is fairly unprecedented, the kind of shit that Trump's brought with him to Twitter. So I mean, you got to cut him a little bit of slack in that regard to some degree. But yeah, man, it's some fucking crazy shit going on. Oh, and one of the other things, like I'm hearing like a lot of the people you're bringing in to talk, and I'm assuming that most of the people are pretty young. Okay, and I'm 47. I'm 47. Okay, I've been around a while, and I've known Trump has been a piece of shit for fucking going on 4 decades at this point. So like when people are like, "Do you think he's lying?"
Right.
Yeah. It's like, people are like, "Oh, I don't think he's lying. He seems like a guy." No. Trump has always been a piece of shit, plain and simple. There's no two ways about it. And I'm sorry that they don't have that understanding through experience that I do. But I mean, I get it. They haven't been around as long as I have. So yeah, it's just like some of the time I'm hearing these kids talk, and I'm just like, "Oh God, please."
Well,
Oh Jesus, you're killing me.
A lot of people have said, well, that's what I like about him. I like that he's a businessman, and he gets things done, and he...
like
in
bankruptcies.
business, you got to make
He's
the best.
very good at that.
Yeah. Well, what do you call it? I like Trump as an entertainer. I don't like him as the leader of the free world. I think that's a highly reasonable opinion to have. I'll watch that guy on a TV show where he fires people. But when it comes to a guy who's got his finger on the nuclear launch button, I want a guy who tells me the truth. I don't want a guy who's constantly trying to, get a deal in his favor. That's the thing is, even this guy seems like he's more interested in making sure he gets a good deal. Even when he gets out of office, he wants to make sure everything's set up for him. I think he's more preoccupied with that than he is with what the American people want or need. And
absolutely is. I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
No, well, I mean, you look at his history, and like I said, I've got the advantage of having seen him since the fucking early '80s, basically, and he literally doesn't do anything that doesn't benefit him. So, like you were saying, he's not the right guy for the job as far as president, and I would go even further to say that he is probably the most ill-equipped person to ever hold that office, and who probably ever will hold that office until Hector Camacho, fucking Elizondo, Mountain Dew fucking gets in office.
It, man. Camacho is what we need. I'm Team Camacho, dude.
Yeah, saying right. Yeah, but yeah, man, this shit is fucking crazy though. But
well,
what are you gonna do?
I mean, I am worried that tech will go too far. Maybe start banning people who don't deserve to be banned. I hope that they are, more. What do you want to say? More reasonable than other people are saying they're not going to be reasonable. They're just going to ban everybody who's red leaning. I don't know.
No, I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that because I got shadow banned from Twitter a couple of times. So I mean, I
Right.
understand what they're talking about. But and it's funny because I'm a bleeding heart live, dude. I'm not a conservative in any way. I mean, I like guns and shit like that, but I'm not like,
Yeah.
I'm not a conservative in any stripe of any stripe. But I've been on the bad end of Twitter's fucking, woke wrath, if you will. So yeah. I don't know, man.
Well, yeah,
I
even a
hope
guy
that
like
they, I
me,
hope
I
that they
mean-
don't overreact. I hope they don't overcorrect, but I think you might be right. I think they will to a certain degree.
I think they will overcorrect, and I am worried
Yeah.
about that. And I'm sure right now, even now, people are probably gathering evidence of them overcorrecting and banning.
Oh, for sure.
People who
Absolutely.
did not, step over the line. We'll see. I don't know the history of all these people. And again, there are some guys who are on Twitter and they're saying things that sound very racist or white supremacist or whatever.
Oh,
And I'm like,
yeah.
these guys, I hate to say it, should have been banned a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I'm very
again, it
lenient
comes
about
to the
that
idea
sort of
that
thing.
this is a private platform and they can do what they want. And when you cross that line, if you get banned, you get banned. You shouldn't be fucking inciting people and saying the kind of shit that gets you fucking banned.
Yeah.
I mean, free speech is one thing, but it's another thing when you're talking about we got to kill all the blacks and the Mexicans, and then we're gonna march on the Capitol and kill all the Democrats and brr.
It's crazy that I find it crazy that kind of speech even exists. There's not a lot of it on Twitter, but you do see it on 4chan and places like that, and I'm always in disbelief.
You know what's funny? I lived in Atlanta for a while. I lived in Savannah for a year and a half, and then I lived in Atlanta for 11 years. Excuse me. And when I was living in Savannah, I experienced what I called Southern Comfort, or not Southern Comfort, Southern Hospitality. Excuse me. But I had some Southern Comfort too at the same time. Anyway, but I used to work for this company, and I had on many occasions I would be in a room with customers who were black. They would come in. And as soon as the black people left, the white people in the room with me, the business owners and the other people there would instantly start talking some racist shit about how they hated the niggers and this, that, and the other.
Okay,
And
we have been talking.
I know. It's a quote. I'm not saying it myself.
You can't say that word. Sorry, buddy. You can't even quote it. I can't have it. I know what you're saying, though. Thanks for coming by. I gotta be quick with the drop. Disavow. I know he was given a quote. Unfortunately, on YouTube, we cannot have that language. Let's talk to Sunset Soda. Hey, Soda. How's it going? It's okay, Geek Variety. I just have to make it. I have to react quickly, and maybe I dropped it quicker than I needed to. But whatever.
No, that's fine.
Hey, what's up, Sunset? Real quick, let me read this message I got here. Twitter can do whatever they want. Wrong, because they would lose Section 230, which is legal indemnity from users' actions. You can't have it both ways. Well, they do have it both ways. Isn't that the thing? Isn't that what's going on right now? That they've already gone through that, and until you take Section 230 away, they can do whatever they want. I mean, I guess you got to fight it out in the courts if you want to change it. Anyway, what is on your mind, Sunset Soda?
So I thought I'd bring up the fact that some of the jokes that have come out of this, some of the memes, if you will. There was, I saw that on Twitter, someone cut together the Animaniacs theme song. I'm not sure if you saw that.
I haven't seen that. Who cut together the Animaniacs theme song?
So it was some woman complaining about how she got maced.
Oh yeah.
So they cut. Yeah, so they were so they cut together her with the Animaniacs theme song. So it was where Animani totally insane. Then they were they pushed me out and maced me, and I'm like, oh, that's some top tier work there. There was also people pointing out. I'm not sure if you've played the game Dishonored.
I have, yeah. And I saw there was a guy who had that tattoo, and they thought he was Antifa because of it.
Yeah,
it's all nonsense. It's all nonsense.
Or the fact that I saw some people on Twitter being like, "Oh, so this is now a racist symbol," and I'm like, "No, that's not how this works."
Yeah,
and they're
no. If they try to say Dishonored is racist, come on,
And then I also saw on Twitter, some dude made an action figure of the Viking-looking dude, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I feel like while as an outsider looking in, and we're waking up, and just like that Polish guy waking up and opening up Twitter that day, and being like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? Everybody's
nuts right now.
Everybody's completely insane. But no, it's. I feel like Trump could have mitigated all of this. Like this could have been avoided. I feel.
Yeah.
If he was just like, hey, if he just needed to have conceded. That's all he needed to have done.
Yeah.
Was just said, hey.
Well, he really.
Was just say,
I guess. Here's the thing: is Trump wants to be seen as a victim, and I don't blame him, because in today's culture, victims get the most support and sympathy and money.
Yep.
Frankly, you know, if you're starting a TV network like he's been rumored to be wanting to do, you want to make it sound like we're the underdog, support us, to fight for free speech and whatever else. And so even if he thinks he doesn't want people to think he's a loser, he wants people to think that it was stolen from him. He wants to go, I didn't lose. I could never lose. Everyone loves me. It was stolen from me. So whether he believes it, he honestly believes it or not, no matter what, I don't think any election he would have not contested. He said he was gonna contest it before the election was even over. So it's not like he suddenly decided it was stolen from him. He said, no matter what, if I don't win, I'm gonna contest it. I mean, because he wants to be a victim. Go ahead.
I mean, sorry, no. There was just that he. I remember him saying during his campaign this year.
Yeah.
Like his re-election campaign. Hey, look, maybe I get in again, and maybe we do a third term after that. And I'm like, after seeing this, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to just, hey, let's see if I can get a third term.
Right.
Like,
well, I think he almost thought maybe I'll run again in 2024. Who knows?
Who knows? Wait, how does that work in your country? He legally can't though, right?
If he loses, he could run again. Right? If he wanted to run again right now. If they impeach him, no. But if he leaves normally and then 4 years from now he wants to run again, the only rule is you can't ever serve more than 8 years. But you can have 4 years in between those 8 years or however many years, you know.
Oh,
you just can't ever serve more than 2 terms.
No more than 2 terms, right?
Yeah.
So, but no, I don't think he'd try again because
I don't think he even wants to be president. I mean, he spends most of his time on the golf course. I think he just wants the power and the prestige that comes along with it. Maybe I'm crazy.
I think when he first got elected, I think he thought he wouldn't get as far as he got.
No, I think it's pretty obvious he thought he was going to lose, and his plan was that him and Steve Bannon, the guy who owns Breitbart, were going to start their own TV station. But then he won, and he said, well, I wasn't expecting this, but sure, let's run with it.
Sure, let's roll the dice.
Yeah.
And now cut to him blaming his own vice president.
Right.
Pence
is a traitor now. Everybody's a traitor is the problem. It's nonsense. I don't know. It's like no matter what happens to this guy. Yeah.
Sorry.
I was gonna say nothing. No matter what happens to him, he's the victim. And I get what he's doing, but it's poisoning democracy, I would say. Yeah.
It's a whole. I feel like at this point with what he's been saying on Twitter before he got banned, it's been a whole everybody sucks but me kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And it's like you and it's like I'm not the problem, you're the problem. And so
there's a lot going on. All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming by. I appreciate your opinion.
Dude. Yeah, man.
And
awesome,
we'll have
man.
you back again. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been going for more than 2 hours. So I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna do my cool show opening again because it's so cool. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Vito Show. I co-host Vito. Next time, I'm gonna make sure to get a co-host to help me out. I think I need a second chair. I wanted it to be my good friend who is now in jail for killing all those people. We'll get him back. I want to thank everybody who came by and donated. We had Truth Nerds, we had Seth Hall, 2Tim, Roland, Christopher Stone. Everybody came on by, put a little money in the pot, keeps the show going. If you like these streams, let's keep them going. Let's have fun with it. And we will be back. I guess I should use that as an outro as opposed to just randomly. Oh, here it goes again. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the show. We'll be back on Monday. Monday.